Hi YouTube, welcome everyone. I'm super excited again. It's gonna be video number 2. We're gonna talk about the actual dating stage and obviously like how to be happy with yourself and how to communicate to the guy, what to talk about on the dates, and how to kind of take it to the next step if you like. And that's gonna be video number 2. So if you haven't seen video number 1, I'm gonna put the link somewhere here or maybe in the description below. But yeah, please feel free to see the video and maybe leave some comment, and like, you know, I would love to know what you guys think about what I just said and how you can respond to that. I've made a few different notes, so I do apologize if I'm going to be looking down. I just don't want to forget anything this time because I feel like I've talked a lot last time and I was like blubbering a lot, like talking about everything. What I do want to say for people who going online and they want to date somebody, please make sure that safety is your first and most priority, okay? Like when it comes to me, what I've done when I was dating, I would always make sure that I see that person outside, somewhere out, like maybe in a public place. So it was usually a restaurant, or yeah, I think it was usually a restaurant for me because I don't do the coffee dates. You see, I hated to go to the park and do the coffees, and I've talked about it in video number 1. So this time I would just strongly recommend, even if you do want to go on if you want to grab a coffee or something, don't just go somewhere where nobody can see you. It's your first time, you don't know that person. Even sometimes for the second time, like I would keep it very official until I was pretty much like sure about that person. So when it comes to my husband, when we used to date, he was very quick in inviting me to see his family. So he introduced me to his family pretty much like straight away. I think we only dated like a couple of times, and I met his mother, I met his sister, I know where they lived. I can see they very good, very nice family, very established. They had a kids, and I can sense that was a normal nice family. So I didn't have to be worried about him killing me or, doing whatever to you. I'm just saying, like, safety is your first priority, and please stick to it, okay? If you're going on a date, either say it to your friend or say it to your mom. What I would usually do, I had like a good friend back then, and I used to send her the profile of the guy. If he gave me his number, I would send her his number, and somebody always knew where I am and what time roughly I'm gonna be coming back. If I didn't come back by then somebody would ring me and ask me, Annabella, are you okay? Is everything all right? And where are you? I think that's just common sense, but some people like literally they do whatever, if the guy is gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna take you there and there, maybe it's just a bit too quick on the first date, if you like, okay? Again, I've talked a lot about it before, but rotational dating and dating several people at the same time, it's more important than you can even imagine, yeah? A lot of people don't agree with me. They say like, oh, well, if you meet, you need to meet one person at a time to get to know them. No, you don't. No. If you dating few people at the same time, and this applies for men and women as well, first of all, you're giving it different vibes. You're giving the vibes that you're not desperate and he's not your only target, and please, like, take me, and you didn't text me for several months. You don't care. If he doesn't text you, he was never for you. I used to talk and go on a date with several different guys at the same time, and it never bothered me. Maybe at the beginning when I I used to be the girl that would only meet one person, and I would never tell them like I'm seeing somebody else. And I think owning your own truth and owning what you want, it's gonna take you far. Also, meeting a few different people at the same time will allow you to don't get hurt in case if something will go wrong. Yeah, I feel like we are forgetting that dating is not. It's not like you go on a date and you're already married, you're already with the person. You need to give them space, you need to give them time, and you need to allow yourself to have that time. And if you only meet that one guy, you always think about him, you're always analyzing what he said and what he texted and why he didn't text you back straight away. When you do that to a few different people, you don't really care. If they're not coming towards you, they lose, okay? Or maybe they were never for you and you were never for them. So don't feel like if he's not gonna text you back, you're gonna lose something amazing. Maybe he's not the person who is on the phone all the time. Okay, and that will actually take me to another point. Don't text too much and don't talk all the time. You can always come back to my first video. I've talked a lot about it. Don't be on the phone all the time. It's not good, it's not healthy, and you're not giving him the moment of, like, you know, he wants to know what you're doing. And it's so nice when you don't reply for several hours, and you know, like when he texts you good morning, like you can always say good morning, but let's say like you don't text him for several hours and he will be like, oh, what you doing? Like, oh, I missed you, or I was thinking about you, or you want to go on a date, or you want to meet up, or whatever. If you're always on the phone and he knows everything that you've been doing all day long, he doesn't really like you. Then you go out and you meet and there's nothing to talk about. I'm sorry, that is just my opinion. My next point, don't rush it. Okay, yeah. So a lot of, especially women, I think like they do want to rush into the relationship without even thinking about what they want and who is right for them and who is not. So sometimes you will meet a lovely lady. She's gonna be so nice and she's super smart and everything is so good with her, and I've heard that stories from the guys, okay, but straight away she's on the fact that he needs to be in the relationship with her, and that's very off-putting. That's very off-putting because that's not your place. That's not your place to say to the guy that he needs to be in the relationship with you. It's the other way around, okay? I get where you're coming from. I know that you know your worth and you just like, you know, you either want me or don't, but there are ways to communicate it, and this is definitely not the way to say, you know, I'm the best, you need to be with me. Or some women, they're gonna chase after the guys and they will be like, yeah, I've got degree, I've got money, I've got this and I've got that. Again, I would say just shush. Women talk way too much. They give too many informations. The guys don't want to know this. It's very off-putting and it's not gonna take you to the stage where you want to be. The stage when you want to be is when he's chasing you, when his energy is coming towards you, when he's loving, when he's respecting. So don't talk about relationship all the time. Don't act like you want to convince him that he needs to commit to you. Not good. It's never gonna work, and I promise you, the less you're gonna talk about it, if he's gonna be interested and he's gonna see that you've got different options, he's gonna be the one to bring it to you. Okay? Don't assume that you are exclusive with anyone. So important, and I was in that trap as well. I thought that just because we're talking all the time, just because we're seeing each other all the time, just because, like even in the past, just because we met our families, that means we're exclusive. God no. God no. If he didn't bring the exclusivity to you, that means he's not that committed to you yet. And just assuming from this side or that side that the person you're dating with is exclusive, this is just wrong, okay? I think things like this needs to be discussed. Usually it's the man who's supposed to bring that conversation. So, hey, where this relationship is heading, we've been having fantastic time, he's really into you, and he's supposed to be the one to bring up that conversation. If not, then sorry, maybe you can bring it up, or maybe you can just enjoy your ride with somebody else. Big mistakes when it comes to exclusivity is when women literally assume this is my mom, and they say, oh, my man did this, or my man said this, my older better half did this, and then they, like, I've realized they're talking about the guy they actually never met. How crazy that is. Just because they've been chatting, just because he's been saying good morning my love every single morning, that does not mean he's your man, and that only means that he will probably have several different women at the same time, and you're gonna be crying your eyes because he's gonna hurt you. If he see that he's done absolutely nothing, the only things he does is literally like saying good morning baby, good night baby, I love you baby, and you already feel like, oh, he's my one and only, he will see like, bloody hell, I haven't done anything for her. and she's already mine. How does that work? Why we always want to make everything easy for the guys? Believe me, they haven't been raised in an easy way. The guys always have hard time, and they are expecting you not to be easy. They're expecting you to be a challenge. They're expecting, maybe not you, but they are expecting that the boundaries that you're gonna create around you is not gonna let him in easy. Because if anybody can walk in easy within your space, to your personal space, then that means, you know, he's gonna ask the question like, how many other guys been there before me and how many other guys are there? Okay, let's say you're dating a few different people, and you maybe you just like one of him, but you are sleeping together, you're doing this together, you're doing this together. He can assume that you are doing this with everybody, because how the hell he needs to know that you're only doing this with him? Yeah, so it is confusing, but trust me, if you are dating several people, you are not exclusive with anyone, don't sleep around, don't kiss them. I would say don't even hold their hands. Like, that was the thing that crossed me a lot. It happens to me quite a few times when the guy would ask me out, especially on the first dates. They would already try to hold my hand, and I was like, I'm sorry, no, don't hold my hand, don't give me any excuse. I don't want to leave, not yet, I just walked in, so don't hold my hand because I'm gonna leave. That's what I thought. Obviously I communicated in a slightly different way. I was like, I'm sorry, but it's not for me, I don't want to touch anyone, I just want to talk to you and see how things are. And if they're gonna be like offended by it, he was like, oh, I asked you out for a date and you don't even want to hold my hand. It was like, you're gonna be yes, you're gonna say yes, I can't do this, I don't want to do it, and that's it. You don't have to explain anything else. If he's gonna be abusive, if he's gonna cross the line at any point when you're dating, you need to either say it out loud, or you need to leave and don't give him any explanation whatsoever. I've done that mistake once. I went on a date. I think that was our second date. The guy wasn't very my type, but I just thought I will give him another chance, just in case, yeah? So I went on a second date to see if there's anything else to him, because he was quite an interesting person, he had a good job, but there was something off-putting, and I couldn't really put my words around it. Like, I couldn't explain why the person who was so well-spoken and well-educated, he was just like, there was something off. And I trust my intuition, and I learned how to trust it. So this time there wouldn't be a second date whatsoever. But back then I really didn't know how to say no, how to say I can't, how to block people, and you have every single right to do it. Every single right. So I went on that second date, and he started to make comments about girls, women, I don't know who they were, but our female side. So some women, apparently they've been going to the club that he knows, and they wanted to take money from the guys. I didn't really get that story. Why they wanted to take the money or get the money. He said it was like a special club just for these type of women. And when he was telling me that story, my inside like cringed. Like, I was shocked what he's on about. He's on a date with me, we're supposed to be meeting, we're supposed to be getting to know each other, and he's talking about some women that are trying to get money from the guys. I was like, okay. So deep down, I really wanted to say to him, like, can you please stop? This is not the conversation I want to have. This is not nice. I'm not feeling just good about it. Or I should just leave. Okay, maybe I shouldn't leave, but I should say something about it. I didn't say anything. I wasn't happy about it, but I didn't say anything. Later on, I came back home, and he texted me. He said like, yeah, I had a wonderful time. Would you like to go out on another date with me? And that was the time when I said, I'm so sorry, but I don't think like we are clicking together. I don't think we are for each other. I wish you all the best. the amount of messages I got later on being so abusive. He said like, I'm a gold digger. He saw when he was telling me that story that my eyes were blinking. I really wanted to know where the club was. I wanted to go to that club. He made so many stories in his head, like fake stories, and he became so abusive in his text messages. So I was so upset. At that time I was so upset. It taught me a lot. It teach me how to communicate and how to not let anybody to walk all over you. So I've replied to him because obviously I was so upset by the way he didn't handle my rejection. I said to him, first of all, if I would be a gold digger, I wouldn't meet with you, okay? You're not making enough for me to be a gold digger. Secondly, definitely if I'm digging for gold, not for dust. So thank you very much. And I also said something about his manners and his comments. And then he sent me a text message saying, yes, I do apologize, blah, blah, blah. But by that time, I didn't even read that message. I just blocked him. So I blocked him and I was super happy about it. And I never apologized for it. And I hope he's gonna learn his lesson. Most of the time, if you're not gonna do anything, that will teach the man that the behavior that he's giving you is right. And it's not right. Unless you want to be treated badly, unless you don't want to have respect, then yes, sister, you do whatever the hell you want. But if you have a bit of respect, and I'm sure you do, because you're watching that video and it's already like 20 minutes or whatever that is, that means you want to know how to be treated well. You need to act well. And if somebody is giving you crap, give him the crap back. You don't have to explain yourself and you don't have to apologize. Please remember this. You need to protect yourself and you need to protect your safety. And if there is a feeling that there is something wrong on the first, second or third date, he's already showing you he's not for you. I've heard terrific stories about the guys who were very abusive on the dates. They were abusive towards the waitress, they were abusive towards everybody in the restaurant, and the ladies wouldn't do anything. No, just leave. There was actually a good friend of mine, she was already 40, 42, so she knew how to play that game. She went on several dates every single week, and she told me, you know, she was my neighbor, and she told me the story about the guy who was, there was something off-putting with him. I think she said like on the first day he was just drinking to the point when he started to tell her like very nasty stories. All she did, she was like, I'm so sorry, I need to use the loo. She went to the loo, there was a back door. A lot of restaurants these days, they have like a special code, safety code, that you can walk to the bar or walk to the kelner, to the waiter, and you can just say the word and they will get you out quickly. So you don't have to apologize. She just left, and I think like she's done well. There's no need to be abused, and no need to give somebody abuse. The reason why it's so important, first of all, you're not gonna take crap, and if he give you that crap on the few first dates, he will think this is how she want to be treated. Secondly, you don't want to argue with anyone. You don't want to say to anyone you are wrong, you are this, you are that. Especially don't say it to a man, because they get very offensive. The ego, the everything, it's not gonna work. Yeah, in some situation I hardly advise to talk about your feeling, and if he's done something wrong, but it's not abusive, it's not aggressive, you can say it to him. You can say it to him out loud. I remember the story. He used to, I think I read it. I read that in the book. There was a guy who was very popular, and he was out and about, so many different women at the same time. I think he never actually wanted to commit, but there was a lady he invited out, and at the time when he's supposed to take her out, he never showed up. And she was waiting and waiting. She waited like half an hour. He didn't let her know. All she did was she went to his house, she knocked to the door, and she was like, how dare you, not being on the time, not being like, you know, like, you're not being there and you ask me out, how dare you. Apparently she stood up for him big times, and he loved her for that, because no ever any other women, you know, like, he's been so popular, he's been like a big fish, so nobody ever dare say anything to him. And I always say it doesn't matter whether he is a pope, whether he is the basketball player, whether he is Cristiano Ronaldo, whoever that is, I have nothing against Cristiano. I loved him so much. Let's be honest. But it doesn't matter who he is. It doesn't matter what position he's having, even within the same company. Just say it out loud. If you don't like it, say it out loud. And also go on the bloody date. The amount of men that I talk to, they always say to me, Annabella, what's the point of texting these days? What's the point about, what's the point about going on these apps? The women don't want to meet. They don't want to see you. They just want to text you like there is no tomorrow, and text you. And if you're not texting, they're getting upset. I would say, if the guy is watching this, please understand that our safety is the most important, and a lot of women, they are afraid of meeting the strangers. And same as men, they are sometimes meeting of having the ego break, or women that are not gonna show up, or he's gonna spend a lot of money for something and then she's not gonna come, she's gonna block him, delete him. Obviously, we all have our things that scares us in mind, but also for women, you need to understand that just by texting and messaging somebody, you're not gonna get the actual vibes, and you're not gonna understand that person to the point when you're supposed to do. When you're out on a date, within first half an hour, within 1 hour, you can really make a good judgment. It's not always right, but you can make a good judgment whether there is something there or there is nothing there. That's gonna save you many weeks or months of texting. It's not gonna drain you. Like, believe me, I used to wake up and I had like 20 different messages, and I thought I have to reply to all of them. Now I had to, back then I had rule that if the guy is not gonna ask me out for a week, I'm not replying to him anymore. Because to me, that's enough to see if there's something I said, or he likes me or not, and he want to take me out or not. So a week was my maximum, and if there was any more texting, I was like, no, sorry, it's not working for me. Or I would even say, like, we've been texting for a while, I feel like it's not getting anywhere, you're not taking me out, you're not inviting me for a dinner, and I think it's not gonna work. And sometimes the guy will be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you're one of these women that want to be taken out, because a lot of women don't want to go anywhere these days. So yes, please, would you like to go out with me? My husband, he was super good again, because I didn't have to tell him any of this. It was just a few days. I think we've been just chatting. Hi, how are you? It was like very sweet, very on point. And straight away he said, would you like to see me? Would you like to... Yeah, I think he didn't use the word date. He was just like, would you like to see me? Would you like to meet up? And I said, yeah, that would be nice. Thank you. Because I knew just texting is not gonna let him to see me, and it's not gonna let me to see him and understand what that person is all about. I think I already said in my previous video that when you're on a date, you're not doing an interview with the guy, you're just sweet, you're just loving, you're polite, you talk a bit about yourself. Please don't talk about your exes, don't say about how many people you slept with. God forbid, don't ask him that question. Like, your past is not relevant at this point. You just want to see if you're clicking together. I would also suggest any important conversation shouldn't be left out for like later stage. So a lot of coaches these days, they are telling you, don't talk about serious conversation until months later or years later, or you just get married and then talk about it. How stupid and how wrong is that? You need to make a very big decision. You need to commit your life. You're taking yourself off the market. You're giving that person 100% of your time. If you want to do that, you need to make sure that person is 100% right for you. And how are you supposed to know that if you're not gonna ask? I've done that mistake as well. I'm like a queen of mistakes, and that's how I learn. So I'm not very afraid of talk about it. I'm not a coach, and I'm not pretending like I know it all, but I just want to help you from my gaining my own experience and gathering everybody else's experience and conversations. I know how it works. That's why I'm doing this video for you, and I hope you're gonna be able to get something out of it. If you have any questions, always let me know below, and I'm definitely gonna answer. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Let's have the sip of water. Hydrate. By the way, do you like my flowers? This morning my husband bring it for me. How cute they are, and they smell just gorgeous. I cannot stop smelling them, literally. So nice. So important conversation supposed to happen at the beginning of the relationship, not at the very end, not after you're gonna get, not after you are committed to one another, because that's the point when you're supposed to know pretty much a lot of important stories. There is a disclaimer that I want to say. People these days, they think of something important that for me is definitely not important. Yeah, they are asking like how messy you are, about all sorts of crazy things that, like, me and my husband, we never discussed this ever, and when the problem arose later on, we just dealt with it. But what I knew for a fact, I knew he wanted to have family, tick. I knew he wanted to have children, tick. And it wasn't even me asking him, do you want to have kids? It was, I was gathering everything that he was telling to me, what his family was telling about him. Super important, see how the man is treating other women, especially the women in his family, and then you're gonna know how he's gonna treat you. 100%. Like, my husband is always so helpful towards his family. Anytime the sister would ask him something or the mother would ask him something, he will do it, no questions, no like, oh, I can't be bothered. No, he was just be doing it. Any help with taking the kids somewhere, or helping them to get to work, there was never ever a problem with this. And that's how you know that if he's serious about you, he will definitely give you that help as well. There is like no point that he's gonna be helpful towards everybody, but he's gonna believe like you are his future wife, and he's not gonna help you. Like, that just doesn't work, okay? So if you see the guy who is just like a bit flinky, oh, what's the word? Flinky? You know what I mean? Like, when the guy says one thing and he does another, yeah? Or when he says, yeah, sure, I'm gonna help you, sure, you can count on me, but when the time comes and you actually need his help, or you need just help, not just his, but you give him that benefit of the doubt, and you say like, oh, something happened to my car, and for a fact he knows how to fix it, but he's not offering you to help you. He's not there for you. And why would you need somebody that can't do shit for you? I wouldn't be with that person for sure. I love when my husband does big and small things for me, and I would never ever replace it to a playboy or a guy who is like super masculine, super attractive, but he's not there for you. What's the point? Talk about what you want and talk about what you're looking for. Don't be afraid of saying your dreams. Don't be afraid of say that you have some dreams, but you can always like, they don't have to happen right now. So I have a dream about having my own built house. I want to build my house and I want to design my house. Obviously, it's a big financial commitment, and not every guy will be able to give you that straight away. So sometimes if you talk about your big dream, like your future dream, he can get scared that, oh my god, I cannot provide that for her, and that can stop him from giving that to you, or that can even stop him from seeing you, because he will be like, I don't deserve that girl, she has the big dream and I just can't meet that. I can't give her what she wants. But if you're gonna communicate that clearly, and you're gonna be like, you know what, this is my dream, that will be super nice, maybe in the future, maybe in the next 10, 15, 20 years, that's gonna happen, and that's okay. But if that's not gonna happen, it's still okay with you. Yeah, so I know for a fact, I'm like super happy we have this house, and I'm super happy that he's here with me. I love spending time with him as well, but I don't, and I have that big dream of having my own built house. But if that's not gonna happen, then I'm not gonna be mad about it. I'm not gonna die one day and say you haven't done this for me. Definitely not. I appreciate every single day, and that's more important than having that big dream come true. If it will, great. If not, sorry. Did I talk about communicating what you want? I don't know if I have. So let me just say it again, and if I already talked about it, then I'm sorry. If not, then you will get something out of it. If you don't communicate what you want, he's not a mind reader, and you're not either. So please just say the hell what you want. And even if they are like small things about opening the door for you, or if you like to be treated certain way, Lily, I'm sorry. She's literally like, oh, what's wrong again? That cat is gonna drive me nuts today. I love her so much. So, okay. Yeah, if you don't communicate everything clear, he's not gonna know. So some men will do it just because they have that in their blood. They're gonna do it once and then they're gonna see you so happy with it, and then they're gonna do it again and again. But he needs to get that in his mind. So for example, my husband used to bring me flowers like every weekend, because we only saw each other over the weekend, or not every single weekend but certain weekends. And I always got flowers, I always got a bottle of wine, and he always opened the doors for me, like always. Wherever we went, always there. He opened the car doors for me, and every single door, okay? And I think that was so super nice. We're not in the jungle, so I can comment first, that's okay for me. And then there was the point when he stopped bringing me the flowers. I think it was like several weeks when I haven't received anything. You can do a few different things. You can either say like, you know, it was so nice when you used to bring me flowers, I was very happy with it and it made my day like so special. Or what I've done, like what I'm doing sometimes when I'm not really in my best feminine self and I'm more like, you know, like sticking it to him, I will buy my own flowers and he will be like, oh, nice flowers. And I said, yes, I got it for myself because nobody else doing it. Oh, you know, but he knows I'm doing this for fun. I don't really recommend giving that comment because it's quite cheeky, but sometimes I like to be cheeky, and I think sometimes you need to be cheeky just to make sure he's still on it. Yeah, if you're too nice, if you're too good, if you're always available, he's not gonna want you. And even if you will, the interest will go down. The interest in you will drop. If you don't have your own hobbies, if you're just waiting for him to do something for you, he'll be like, you know, God, like she doesn't have her own life, her world is spinning around me. No, I'm the center of attention. It's me. Okay? Okay, so I think that's gonna be it for today. If you have any questions, leave me a comment. If you have, you know, if there's anything you want to talk about or anything you want to know, you can always even write me an email. I think I'm gonna put my email somewhere below, or you can just drop a comment and I will reply to it 100%. Have a good day. I wish you all the best. Mwah. Love you all. Take care. Bye bye.